long, long time.
You're ready to pop, aren't you?
Hi, welcome to Jabbing with Mimi. And we like to jab about the laws of mind. There's 12 laws of mind, how they operate and affect us, and how to live life subjectively, and what that looks like, feels like, what are those kind of responses so that we can flip our mind and stop seeing life objectively instead of subjectively, which is what the Bible teaches us. So I post a poll, and the patrons put comments or, vote on the poll. And there was just a really interesting question from one of the patrons. And let me read it to you. I have it on before the video started, but it's, last year I was told to take no thought. This is so that God's thoughts can stream through mind, the individualized or soul consciousness that is me, without resistance. Well, this is, the goal. You let him do the talking. Don't argue, okay? Because that's what you're doing. You're second guessing yourself, and you're always sorry when you second guess. Learn. Don't second guess. Let God do it. Let him do it. He's the one consciousness. He holds everybody else's consciousness inside him. Okay? He knows it all. Don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. And that is really the goal. Take no thought. When you find yourself weaving a story, you just, God forbid anything come from that. And if you got to think of something, look at nature. Think about the aspects of God, something like that, until you can get it to where you're not thinking. Like when you're running, you don't think. When you're washing dishes, you don't think. These are the mundane tasks. When God comes sneaking in there to talk to you, he starts, it's your imagination talking to you, but he's the great translator. He's the one who has to translate between man and God and man. Okay, that's the mediator. Okay, he mediates between the two and getting the messages across. And one of the things we are taught objectively is so that later when you flip your mind, you will see that, people telling you doing this or that was bad, or, lying, or they were just being jealous and envious, and being jealous and envious. These things were to make you realize you don't think like that. You don't think like that. You're going to create it. And this gets into the second part of this patron's question, which is, I would also love to know the many ways our judgments have come back to bite us in the ass. Thinking objectively is judging, okay? And you've decided that something can be better than or less than you, or something else, or anyone else. And that's just not true. Okay, no one is better than or less than anyone else. No one. It's all cut from the same cloth. No one's better than you. We're just different. We're all different. And that's beautiful. If we were all the same, it'd be so freaking boring. Okay. And the idea is to come together in the thinking, all these brilliant, beautiful aspects of God. These beautiful pieces of yarn are weaving themselves together into this beautiful rug. This is the understanding comes from getting your ass bitten. Okay? So, you are upset with your husband about something, and y'all get it settled, and it didn't seem that big of a deal. But the fact that there was conflict meant a judgment happened, and then you go out and get a flat tire. Not that big a deal. Don't think like that. You're slowing it down. And this is where, that feeling bad comes with the fear and the doubt and the guilt. And those things got to go, man. They got to go. You have nothing to fear. There's nothing to doubt. And, guilt for what? Learning? You were learning. You're a divine spirit. You're a divine being. Learning how to use the mind you were given. Okay? So that we can be a team all together, working together. All inside his mind. Okay? And we are in his mind. You're safe and secure. You're in the mind of God. He thought of you. This great little personality. And some of us, well, all of us in our own way, are the devil's advocate. Okay, the devil's the adversary. He's the one who comes and shows you your judgments. He's imagination. Imagination is always showing you what you think. And it's not just about stuff. Okay? It's about people. That's what it's about. Each person is like a vessel of clay, wet clay, that you can reshape and reform. And if you're not doing it with love, then it will come and bite your ass. If you're unconsciously judging, it comes and bites your ass. And eventually why is all this bad shit happening to me? I thought 3 is a charm, man. I'm getting it in spades. Come on, man. And that's, when you start looking and you're led. Oh, you want to know why? That's the question. That's what the tree of knowledge, the name knowledge, the Greeks interpreted it as the word gnosis, which means knowledge. But the word actually means why. Why? Why is this happening? If you ask why, you're going to be shown. It's you. It's what you thought. Don't you like it? I mean, you thought of it. You're like, yeah, I did, didn't I? And people get racked up with guilt, and I got to atone, and all this other shit. No. You need to forgive. Okay? And then once you're through forgiving everything, and everything's kind of running smoothly, start ripping judgments out. Be the great Joshua. Bring those walls down. Okay? It may not be affecting you directly, but you'll notice that, for example, people make assumptions. This is a judgment. Okay? An assumption is a judgment. I know it's that. So this law of assumption stuff, put it away. It's the law of being, man. You're going to be that. That's what you're thinking. And you're dropped into these plays. Which one do you want to be in? While you learn. And you can play any character you want. Doesn't matter. Because you're here to learn how to think. So you're going to be given experiences no matter what, who you think you are. You're going to live life. Okay? So Judgment Day is every day. And it's all day, every day. Because it's about your thinking. Judging. Okay? A good example of this is, you and your boss are on the outs. You seem to be butting heads. You didn't get a good raise last time. You didn't get a raise the year before that, but nobody did. And, you really want a really good raise, but he's such a dick. You're judging. Okay? You're judging. And nothing really is happening at work. Everything's kind of going good. Okay? Except you perceive him as being a dick. Okay? And you're still getting raises, but they're not a lot. Okay? And you and everybody else suffered with no raise in 2020. So here we go, right? You're judging the boss. He's a dick. He's a jerk. His door's always closed. He never wants to talk. He just stares at you, blah, 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 blah. So then you go home. And on the way home, you make up a story about how you told the boss that your work is the greatest and he needs to reward that work. And then you get home and you come in the door and all hell breaks loose. Your husband's been screaming, the lights went out. I don't even know the phone number for the light company. Who the fuck do we call? And blah, 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 blah. All hell's broken loose. That's the clue. And you've been given, taught to blame others. Oh, the lights went out because something happened at HLMP because some transformer went down the street because somebody ran into it. All of that was just for you. Okay? Bringing some conflicts into your life. You want some? You like that stuff? Well, you've been wallowing in it all day long and on the ride home. So thought we'd just continue the pattern. And this is what Paul says is a mystery. That it's a mystery, that God is a mystery. And it's because it's hard to connect the dots. You have to rise up to connect the dots. It's because I was judging the boss. All this caca started happening. Well, I forgive him for showing me he doesn't talk to me. I forgive him for all that stuff. I forgive him. I forgive him for that. And it all just works its way out. You wiped out that judgment off your heart, out of your head. You've automatically wrapped judgment around God's heart. He's going to show it to you. If you are sincere and passionate about it, you're really going to get it. Because that's to teach you. Don't think like that. Yeah, you're being righteous, but you bet, baby doll, but here. Now you're in the shoes of the other. And this comes back to that putting yourself in the other guy's shoes. You're going to be put into his shoes if you don't forgive. If you don't remind yourself that who are you to judge? You've lied, you've stolen, you've coveted, you've been jealous, envious, you've done all these things, okay? And you murdered in your heart, you know you have. We all have. Well, he just needs to die, That man was just too horrible, he's got to go. They need to put him in the electric chair, They need to shoot him. They need to shoot him up with drugs. Whatever. No. 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 They all have a God in their heart. And vengeance is mine, says the Lord. No. You forgive them. And it's that way because vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And if you interfere and you try to judge, that way you've committed murder. And you don't realize it until you rise up and see. Okay? And you see how you made these judgments. And you've been doing it for a very long time. So if you had the abusive childhood and abusive, puberty and teenagehood and all that other stuff, it's because those judgments have been carried with you. Okay? And it was the only way to get it through to you. Turn within, turn within, turn within. That's right. Say it. Say it. She's a bitch. Yes. Yes. Her thinking is a bitch. But she's still your mother, and you love her. So if she did stop being that way, you wouldn't really love her. That's the point. Okay? You love them regardless. Get away from them? Yes. Judge their thinking by all means. But don't judge the person. Okay? Don't. Just because he has bug eyes doesn't mean anything. Just because he's introverted doesn't mean anything. You're making stories. Okay? You are. He would rather read his Bible than be with me. This is what Neville Goddard's wife said to him, because he thought that about her. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. You get it. Whatever it is. And this particular patron had shared with me a wonderful example of it, where she was thinking they're just not snapping, they're stupid. Okay, they're stupid. The people in this group are being stupid. They're stupid. And then she was getting stupid outside the group, all over the place. And she was like, oh my God. And no, they're great. They're intelligent. They're wonderful. And all that stopped. And that's seeing them differently. You don't have to forgive, but forgiveness is the easy way. And in the end, you do have to forgive. You have to forgive them, because that's the only way they can be released from your story. And if you're at the end of your story, like Neville Goddard was, he had to be shown a vision. Forgive. Forgive these guys. You're coming out. And so he did. And then he was shown the promise. And this is, the story of Job. You got to forgive these guys. I'm in them too. Help a brother out. Release me. He gets released. So it's understanding that everything here is a thought, a belief. And you've automatically accepted the bad. And that's wrapped all around your heart. That there's good and bad. Okay, that's all wrapped around your heart. And that's what you're getting off of you. Okay? Those little nuggets that you put on yourself. Well, I hope this helps. We judge all the time, and you are facing your judgments all the time, whether you realize it or not, whether you can put the dots together or not. The big dot is stepping back and looking at it. What do you see? So for example, you can step back and look at Hillary and Bill Clinton and see that death follows them. I don't know if they're a part of it or not. It doesn't matter to me. I can see that death follows them. They think objectively. So I forgive them for showing me that death follows them. I know they're doing the best they can with what they have to know. They have God in their heart. I forgive them without distinction. You walk away. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you for being you.
You're on the TARDIS too, your heart, mind, soul. But physically, yes, you were still in this place.
And when I saw that face looking through the hatch, that woman looking at me.
Reality,